So friends, I received many questions about the four pillars of life and the angular houses. I have dictated this topic in online courses since 2010. We will always have something new to say about the four pillars. The angular house are called Kendra Bhavos in Vedic astrology. There are four important areas of life, four bases, four pillars. These four pillars and the four areas are seen on the two darkest and thickest dividing lines in the natal chart in Western astrology. A vertical line where we find the ascendant degree and the descendant degree. The first house and the seventh house start from the degree of the ascendant and descendant until completing the degrees of each houses, and a horizontal line that goes from the degree of the midheaven to the lower angle of heaven where the 10th and the 4th house start. All my students from the west have learned about the four pillars of life and the angular houses. Today, I share with followers from other latitudes. The four angular houses are called the cosmic cross that we all bring. I will extend this theme from now on. If we refer to the Western spiritual conception where Christianity has a great influence, we understand the Master Jesus when we said that we must all take our cross. The cross that we charge is the destiny. There are hidden principles that tell us that is cross is the common destiny that we can change for an extraordinary destiny building four pillars. Master Jesus also said, wiser is the man who builds his house on stone. Either we take the cross of destiny or we build a new destiny on the four fundamental stones of life, the four pillars. So I will explain about the fourth house and the religion's paradigm again, but highlighting fundamental differences with the ninth house. The fourth house represents our parents, our family, our culture, our customs, our origin, our ancestors, our primary environment, the small society where we are born. The ninth house is abode associated with spirituality, the higher mind, religion, higher education, professional development. I said that an astrologer must learn two things. The first thing is learn to see and learn to listen. See beyond the physical, listen beyond the physical. Today, I give you another personal lesson. I share with you what I practice in my own experimental laboratory. For astrologers are non-astrologers, because today astrology is not reserved for a social class, caste, or educated personalities. We can all learn astrology, learn to recognize through astrology who are we. We must learn to integrate, to see everything in an integrated way. This is not difficult for Indian culture because the Indians know that all parts are the body of Brahma. Thus, there are 12 houses, 12 signs and planets that are divided parts, divided influences that influence our entire existence. We must empty ourselves of the patterns of the thought, patterns imposed when we were dominating during the period prior to the birth of our Indian Republic. Models of Christian beliefs were also implanted in our being. So we charge our spiritual philosophical system contained in the Vedas, the scientific concept associated with karma, but we also charge with Christian beliefs. We charge with the destiny that is a cross. We formed our personality the first 7 years of life. For the reason the moon is related to all the mental, emotional, and affective process of human being. We do not have a higher mind our first 7 years of life. For these reasons, we speak of manas, upper mind, and the lower mind, upper manas, and lower manas. Our mind is an empty space, and our parents, our loved ones, our small environment, the fourth house, and our small society begins to show that fertile soil called mind of behavior patterns of emotions. We haven't learned to cry, we learn to laugh. When we relate to other cultures, we see that the natives of other lands cry and laugh for different things. Even feelings are shown in the fourth house. They are 7 years of the formation of our personality. But there are differential factors which we can understand when we see, observe, analyze a birth chart. Because although all the people go through that cycle of 7 years, each one live those 7 years in a different environment, particular, and will be receptive or indifferent to that early experience. Each one has different parents and grew up in a different environment. We know how an individual is affected during those first 7 years, observing his nativity, signs, planets, energies, presence in the fourth house, the lord of that house and its cosmic state. The fourth house is the basic of all our experiences. For that reason, I call it the first pillar. But the ninth house represents our future when we are little children. The ninth house is a beautiful process where we are going to recognize the difference between what we learn to want, the fourth house, and the what we want, that is ninth house, our dreams, goals, and our life goals. But the eighth house precedes the ninth, and its symbolism is quite clear. To die, to born again. If we want to born again, we have to empty ourselves of what in the beginning formed us. We develop independence in the ninth house because we can think, discern, discriminate, reason for ourselves. We can take what has been learned from the fourth house and modify it for our development, for our growth, for the achievement of our life goals, spiritual or material. The values are seen in the ninth house, but they depend very much on what was lived in the fourth house. So, if we have not emptied ourselves of what our lower mind contains, we will be following outside goals learned and not our own desires. The son I studied to be a doctor because his father, his grandfather were doctors doesn't mean that being a doctor is bad. It means that house 9 leads us to become aware of our own development, desire, and qualities. We can be born into a family where all are doctors and we follow that tradition. But if we do not bring virtues, attributes related to medicine, we will be doctors, but we will lose the opportunity to be excellent engineers or architects or the development our own desires. I invite you to follow the posts and videos of Western and Vedic astrology. I invite you to follow our channel to share the good. The good that is here is multiplied, and you can request more information about the astrological reports in our portals, number of WhatsApp and email.